Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Football Manager 2023 as we continue our road to glory run with Banbury United F.C. We are getting to our end of season review for our first season where we were able to stay up in the Premier League. So let's get right into it because I'm excited. Let's go. All right, here we are at the end of basically our best season ever. I mean, at least our best finish ever. 2035-2036 season for Banbury United again. Here we go. New arrivals. We actually got quite a few players. Some of them we'd seen the year before because they were loanies the previous year, and we just brought them back in. But we got Fine here. The board is very fine with the Fine. They're delighted with Fine. We got him on a pretty low wage, but we did pay, a good chunk of money for him. So overall, 27 total appearances, five substitutes, I guess 32 total appearances, 16 goals, not bad. A goal every other game. I can't argue with that. I mean, we need some more goal production from some of our other guys, maybe, but a goal every other game is pretty good. Feezy comes in here. What did the board give us? Board gave us an A for Feezy. Not quite as expensive, just pretty close, but he does have a lot of ability for us. He played actually 36 games for us, 4 goals, 4 assists from him as well, 7.02 rating. We then brought in Lane here. Well, I keep saying his name wrong because I don't know why my brain keeps trying to say Lane. We actually got him pretty cheap. I'm surprised we're only getting a C for this because he played really well for us. 9 goals, 9 assists for only just under 6 mil. That's not bad in my opinion. Boyson comes in here. He's only a C as well. Wage contribution is acceptable, but the loan fee is far too high for a player of his ability. Interesting. He did play a good number of games for us, and 6.94 is not too bad. 5 assists. I like that. Nick Jonas, I was going to say they better be happy about Nick Jonas. Nick Jonas, I think, was a good pickup for us. Only 11.25 mil. Played really, really well for us. 7 goals, 5 assists from him. Amshoff, I assume this one's going to be a good one as well. Only a B, but still pretty good. 11 goals from him, 6 assists. Another pretty solid player for us overall. Lee Williams comes here. They don't like the Lee Williams deal here. Interesting. They don't think he's very good value for the money. I mean, he played okay. Maybe not amazing, but honestly, I think he helped us stay up. So I can't complain. I personally can't complain about the money we spent on him. I think it was okay. Stevens here, fairly cheap overall. B minus from the board. Larrabee comes in here. Also relatively cheap, although he's not really, we haven't really seen him do as much as I think he's going to be capable of. 6.82 average rated for him, 22 years old still. Fabio, we got a C for that, 6.82. Then we got Prosser on a B minus. Jonathan on an A plus. They like the Jonathan deal, 18 mil for him. I don't think he played quite as well as I would have liked, but he's still young. He's still got some room to develop. Higgins, not great. Angeli here, a C. Who else we got? We got Finardi. A minus for Finardi, 20 years old, 2.2 mil. He only subbed 3 times, so obviously we didn't get to see really anything of him. He's only a 1.5 star, but he could definitely get up to that 4 star. And even if we don't use him ourselves, I think there's a really good chance that we could sell him on for some really good profit someday. Joseph B plus, and finally we got this Gibson guy who did not play for us. 2-star current ability, 3.5 star potential. Not really worth anything right now. We need definitely to get him some loans or some game time, something like that, and see what we can develop him into. Transfers out. I'm actually curious how they liked or disliked these. B minus for the Huckshaw. Umaro was a C. Kamoli was a C plus. Katanga was a C. Owen a C plus. Clarkson a C minus. Darby a C plus. They weren't like especially happy with most of these. Ceballos C. Dickinson C plus. Mandanda C plus. Fisher's, man, everything's just right down the middle. C plus, things like that. Nothing. There's actually a D for Hurd. I mean, we got a healthy profit from him. I mean, we didn't make a lot of money from him, obviously, but we also didn't pay a lot of money from him up front. So got some profit for him. So not amazing, but it is what it is. Loans, Harwood B minus, Barnes C, Salisbury C plus, and Davies C. All right, cool. Let's go into the results. Obviously, our best finish ever. We have achieved a top half finish in the Premier Division this season. 100% average home attendance at 8,837. We definitely still need to get that higher. Maybe I'll ask the board for another time to see if they'll build another stadium. They keep saying no, but eventually maybe they'll say yes. FA Cup, obviously we got the B here. 7 goals from Fine in that one. Carabao Cup, we got C plus here. Losing against Brentford was a little silly. I mean, that was in, I think, penalties, right? So hopefully we do better next year. Although I don't really care about the Carabao Cup. FA Cup for sure we care about, right? We only lost by 2 goals, so definitely a possibility that we could take that all the way to the end someday. Biggest win was our 7-0 beat of Brighton. We had a hat trick from Larrabee, hat trick from Amshoff, and a goal from Liane there. Match to remember was our 2-0 victory over Tottenham. A goal from Larrabee and a goal from Moore. Okay, so I'm sorry for the yawns all of a sudden today. I've literally been sitting here getting ready for this video. No yawns. And then I sit down and suddenly the yawns start. Goal of the season came against our 2-2 draw against Newcastle. It was a 12th minute Liane goal. Let's go take a look at this. Liane on a 7.8 in this game. There's Larrabee to Jonas. Jonas up to Liane. That was a good go. That was a good go. Yeah, good. Well done. Wish we could have seen a lot more of that, obviously. So I'm guessing this is a Newcastle goal. Yes, it is. And then I think we are going to get us a goal here now. Warner with the ball. Williams, Liane. Gets it up. There's Prosser. Nice. Nice play. And then, of course, we held on for the first half, but they got back in at the beginning of the second half here. And we couldn't quite get the victory. That was a good goal for them as well. So, yeah. Did we have a higher XG? We did not. So, actually, we kind of got away with that one a little bit. All right, finances. We are currently half star better on our reputation. That's going to help us get hopefully more players. No new sponsorships, no new notable deals. Sponsorship money, broadcast revenue obviously was up quite a bit. Corporate hospitality was down a little bit. Competition prize money was up a lot. And then we had just a slight dip in match day commercial and retail. Best shirts, Watts #1. That's interesting. Liane, Fine, Feezy, and Campbell. Cool. All right. Well, let's go. Let's see how we lined up. Fourth, obviously our 4-3-3 or 4-3-3-2-1 or whatever you want to call it. I guess it's 4-3-3 DM wide. Primarily running Watts, obviously. Jonathan, Williams, Moore, Boyson. Yeah. Feezy, Jonas, Higgins, Amshoff on the left, Liane on the right, and Fine up front. Yep, that makes sense. It's a good lineup. Got us what we needed. We did get Skybet Championship Manager of the Year for last year. Fans Player of the Season was Watts. Young Player of the Season was Watts. Signing of the season was Amshoff. Goal of the season was Liane. We saw that. Top goal scorer with 16 was Fine. Most assists was Liane with 9. Fine 5 Player of the Match awards. Highest average rating was Fine. And most passes completed was Fabio. Highest transfer received was Ceballos. We've only received 13.22, huh? That is our biggest transfer. Well, I think that we'll be potentially breaking that during this offseason because I think we will be getting rid of one of our strikers, and I will talk about that here in a minute. Your hard work and effort paid off on the pitch, and such a feat didn't go unrewarded at our end of season award ceremony. I think that always says the same thing. The spell of football at the start of the season was making a Banbury. Once Banbury got rolling early in the season, they never looked back, and I think that's fairly true. We did a good job. I don't think there's really much to see here. Just 700 matches managed already. I mean, will we finish this? Will we win the championship? Not the championship. I'm sorry. Will we win the Premier League as well as the Championship League before we get to 1,000 matches? I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Actually, maybe a better question is, will we get to 1,000 matches before FM24 comes up? It's not that far away. They've already been doing lots of good announcements for it. So again, there we go. 10th place, pretty good finish. Banbury, we don't need to look at that right now. We did gain a bunch of followers. People are supporting us. That feels really good. Club vision and expectations meeting. Work within the wage budget. They like that. Attempt to avoid relegation. Okay, yeah, I mean, I can accept the current vision. I'm definitely, obviously, hope that we do better than avoid relegation, but I don't, no sense putting more pressure on us than we need to. Team leaders, Watts and Jonathan. Looks good. Team meeting and the yawns continue. I want to say that looking ahead next season, I'm optimistic that we can avoid a fight against relegation and stay up comfortably. I think that is what I like to say. They are happy. Good. I was a little worried. I'm always worried about that one because you just never know. They might be like, "Oh, you're being crazy," but no, that was a pretty good response there. And I'm happy because I need my team to be behind me as far as our goals for next season. But break, Banbury training. Where do we want to go for training? Let's go to the United States for no reason, because we can. Release clause leaves Banbury's family to secure Nick Jonas' future. Yes, I would love to secure Nick Jonas' future. Let's see here. Can we? I think the last time we tried this, we couldn't afford it. So I'm going to try and hope that we can get him secured in here. And we can remove this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just bring these down a little. Probably should just straight up exclude the release clause. In fact, it's probably going to come back and he's going to have it locked in, isn't he? Yes. See, that was my mistake. I should have excluded that from the first time, because now I can't exclude it. I mean, 27 mils better than 18 and a half, so it's something. How much did we pay for him when we got him? 9. I mean, 27. We got to go for it. Oh, I don't want to, though. And the reason I don't want to is because he is making, where is he? Jonas. He's making 45. Okay, no, that's not bad. Okay. I thought he was going really high up on his salary, his wage demands, but no, not really. He's really not. I mean, 54 over. I mean, we can obviously drop this down some more. Try to get that drop down. Yeah, next time I'll just try not to make. I need to exclude this, and he may just straight up say no, but at least I know, right? All right, he's gonna be okay with that. A little bit of a bump there. We at least got this bumped up, a good chunk. So, all right, we'll go. I'm okay with that. I mean, it's maybe not ideal. We definitely don't like the release clauses. If we can get rid of them, that would be nice. But sometimes that is not easy to do. Transfers coming in. We still what? Is it Boyson that's coming in still? Yeah, Boyson still comes in permanently. Very good deal for him. We got a couple youngsters that are going to be coming in. Can't remember if I showed you these guys. I mean, they may be nothing, right? 1.5 star, 3.5 star potential. This guy, 1.5 star, 3.5 star potential, and this guy, basically 2 stars up to 4.5 star. I mean, he's obviously the best of all of them. You never know. I mean, these guys may be nothing. They may be something. It's hard to say. They're not costing us anything. They came out on a free, so we can make a gamble and either sell them on for something, or maybe we get us some good players. You never know. Spagnoli obviously leaving in July as well. All right. Oh, I was going to talk about people that we want to get rid of. So here's the thing. Here's the wages or the transfer values for people that we have in our team currently. I mean, I think we keep Fine around. He's still got a lot of development ahead of him. We want to keep Larrabee. Mourner, I want us to keep him around. I like Feezy. I'd like to keep him around. Although, to be fair, no, I like to keep Feezy around. I was going to say we might not bring him in, we might sell him on because he's good value. But no, he's a good guy. We want to keep him around if we can. Williams, I don't know what we're going to do with Williams. He played okay. 6.91 is actually pretty good. His training rating is really good, which means he's going to develop relatively well. I would like to bring him in, I think, permanently. He's still got some room to grow. I mean, is he amazing? No, but he did well. So there's nothing wrong with that. Jonathan, we could probably live or die without. I mean, I probably wouldn't be okay. Would be okay if we shopped him around a little bit. Got a little bit better deal for him because it's not like he played he didn't play bad, but he didn't play like amazing. So, he might be a guy we like to sell on. Obviously, we like to keep Watts, although we are coming to the point now where maybe we need to start kind of keeping an eye out for another goalkeeper of the future. I mean, he's only 24 years old. He's got so much room ahead of him, but he's only a 3-star goalkeeper. But he played well, so for now he stays. Campbell is probably somebody we need to get rid of. He did not play well this season. He got 1 goal over the course of the entire season. Now, granted, he only had 3 starts, but he substituted a lot and only 1 goal. I think he had plenty of time to get more than 1 goal. So we need to get rid of him. I like Campbell. He needs to go. Higgins, I would like to bring him permanently. He didn't play amazingly well, but he's got a lot of room to develop and grow. So we'll see about him. So I think the big ones right now would be Jonathan for sure, Campbell for sure, Jonathan maybe. That might be it. There's not really a lot of guys in here that are worth so much more that I would like to sell them instead of just trying to keep them, develop them a little bit more. So we'll start with that. We'll see where that gets us. I think we're going to run basically the same tactic next year, at least for now. That's my plan. We'll see what happens as we kind of move some people around. Again, I think I am going to try and chase down Williams at least. I don't know about Higgins. Higgins has so much room to grow and get better, so you never know. He might be good, but we'll see what kind of value we can get for them. We do have $53 million in the transfer budget. I am trying to increase the transfer revenue that we get available. I did ask the board for that, so we'll see what kind of response they give us for that. And then, of course, we have a little bit of room in the... actually, we got a good chunk of room in the wage budget. So, all right, I will bring you guys back when anything happens. All right, we're back. I have done the transfers. Today's actually the day of our first game here in our second season in a row, third season overall in the Premier League. We'll be playing West Ham in the next episode, followed by Arsenal. West Ham, I think we can do. I think we can take care of that one. The Arsenal game is going to be a tough one. They were, what, number 2, number 3 last year, I think? Let's see. They were number 1. My bad. My apologies. I actually thought it was Man City. It was number 1, but no. So Arsenal was number 1. They did end up number 1. So this is going to be a tough game. It is going to be a tough game, but I think we have a slightly better team than we had last year. Not an amazingly better team. A slightly better team. But we did get some players that I think have some potential to either be worth a lot of money to us down the road or develop into players that will be good for us. So we'll take a look at that. We got one guy just in time because our star striker from last year has been out for the entirety of preseason, and I think he's out for a couple more months. We're going to lose him for like 3 or 4 months, something like that. So we needed a guy, and you guys could probably already see his name on those scoring lists up there. There's a certain guy, Mr. Nikola Ostajic, who has been putting up some goals. It's been good to see. He's done some good stuff for us. As you can see, did all right in preseason. Honestly, this loss against Chelsea, we actually had a slightly higher XG than them. So I think it went a little bit better than the way it looks on the scoreboard. So, but we don't care. We don't care about the preseason too much. Getting a couple goals against Chelsea, I'm happy with that. But here is the team, or what we brought in. Let's go. Transfer history. We're going to go back to the previous season because some of them end up here at the bottom here. As you can see, we did pick up 4 players. I already talked to you guys about the 3 youngsters, right? These guys may turn into something. We got them for free. We get a couple million for them down the road. That's just almost free money, right? But we picked up 4 guys. And again, that Ostajic guy, I have no idea how we got this guy for under £2 million because I think he's going to be pretty good. But anyway, first up, we picked up this guy named Mark Nicholson, who is, I think, our first official Wonder Kid. So there we go. Mr. Driven, left attacking midfielder, Wonder Kid, 3.5-star current ability, could be as high as 5 stars. Currently valued, I mean, obviously we have to take this with a grain of sand. A grain of salt. Grain of sand? Did I say grain of sand? Grain of salt. But he could be valued as high as £75 million. But he came here from Sunderland. He played well for them last year in the championship. 7.12 overall. He 40 appearances, 12 goals, 6 assists, 8 player of the match awards. He looks like a good player. And the fact that we picked him up for the low price, in my opinion, of £24 million, I think was a pretty good piece of business. So if this guy develops into something, this will be amazing. Now, he was injured for a few weeks in preseason, so I haven't really gotten to see him much. He will not be starting because Amshoff is playing really well right now, but we are definitely giving Nicholson plenty of game time. So he will get, it may be like a 50-50, 60-40, something like that. He's definitely going to get a lot of play time because we want to see him develop for sure. Next guy on the list, I'm actually surprised he's not labeled as a Wonder Kid unless my evaluation from my scout was way off. No, I mean, he's close, right? He's 2.5 right now. Could be as high as 4.5-star ability right back. He has some, 14 crossing. It's not amazing, but for 19 years old, I mean, that could go up to 15, 16, 17 by the time he's actually developed fully. So I think he's actually going to be a really good player considering, again, 19 years old, and he's already got some stats that are not bad. And again, add a couple points to each of these because that's usually what you can expect for someone who's starting off, and then by the time they get fully developed, you maybe add 2 points to each of these. Sometimes you get 3, sometimes you get 1, but around 2. And he's going to be a pretty good player, I think, overall. Ambitious, fairly ambitious, I should say. So we'll see what he can do with him. We can do with him. He comes from Ligue 1 Toulouse in France. 6.9 last season, 5 assists, 1 player of the match. I mean, League One, it's not the Premier League, but it's not bad. That's a pretty good level. And excuse me, sorry about that. Usually mute for those. That one snuck up on me. So he comes in here again. There was a theme here. For some reason, a lot of these players came in here around 20 to 24 million. And I actually think they're going to look like some pretty good players. So we got Rogier, Patrick. We'll call him Patrick, maybe. He comes in here, and I think he's going to be a good one. Ostajic, I think, is the steal. Nicholson, I think, is going to be great. But no, Ostajic, for the price, for what I think we're going to get from him, this guy comes in here. He's not got a lot of room to develop. He's 21 years old. He's basically done developing. But he's a 3.5 star player right now. He is already today better than Fine in theory. Now, I think we would still start Fine. Fine still got some development ahead of him. We obviously know Fine is proven. His finishing's not great, but his first touch is amazing. He's got good composure, good technique. I think he's going to be a good guy for us. He's got some good flair. He's a bit fickle on the personality. But again, we paid basically nothing for this guy. So if he turns out to be a complete flop, not the end of the world. He does come to us from the Serbian League, 7.36 last season, 7.2 the season before. Obviously, the Serbian League is not very high. In fact, it would not surprise me if it's below the Championship League. Is it? It's not showing me the full list there. Yeah, here's the Championship, 20th, Serbian League. It's only 10 spots behind. It's actually not significantly far behind. So I think he could turn out and be good. And like I said, we've already seen him in preseason, and he looks really good in preseason. I mean, the goals he scored were beautiful. So whatever his finishing may or may not be, he's scoring like he's got better finishing than he does. So again, a big steal here. I do not want to take full credit for this. This is one that my director of football suggested. My director of football has been batting very well, I think, for the most part. I think he's actually had more wins that he suggested than lost. Now, are all of his ones, good players? No, of course not. But I think he's had, like I said, more good than bad. So I'm definitely going to take his suggestion, especially for somebody who's less than £2 million. I thought that was an amazing deal. Bozovic comes to us very cheap as well. So if he turns out to be a flop, who cares? He's 2.5 star current ability, could be as high as 3.5 star. Not an amazing player by any stretch of the imagination, but he's determined, he's tireless, and he's cheap. So we'll see what he can do. He also comes to us from the Serbian Super League, playing really, really well there. We'll see if he can make the step up to the Premier League. And that is our biggest weakness. We'll take a look at the squad planner here in a minute. Our biggest weakness is defensive midfielder. So I'm glad we got him. We need better than him, but I'm glad we got him. We'll see what he can do. All right, so that's all that. I think the only players that we lost, I don't know. I think, yeah, I say Fletcher left. I'm not going to hide my face, but he left only for 2.8 mil. No big deal. Who cares? Angeli went out on loan, and then Turan we finally got rid of for 525,000. So no big money coming in from these guys at all. None of the players that we sold did we sell for big money. In fact, this is the only other player that we sold for any real money, which is Gibson here for $1 million. Everybody else is either out on loan or went out on free because we decided to cancel their contracts, things like that. Really not a lot of money coming in at all. That's the one big thing. I couldn't sell anybody. I couldn't sell Campbell. I couldn't sell Joseph. I couldn't sell anybody. So had I sold some more people, we might have been able to get a couple more really good guys. Just couldn't. Now, there are some people coming in for Amshoff right now. I just had an offer for £44 million for Amshoff. Maybe I should sell Amshoff for £44 million, but I like him. I think he's going to be great. Now, we do have that Warner kid, so we could afford to sell Amshoff, but I really like him a lot. I want to keep him around if I can help it. Are we going to get a better player for less than 40? I don't know. Maybe we could. I mean, we did just get that Warner kid, so we'll see. Maybe that's a mistake. If they come back in again, I might consider it. But for right now, I'm pretty happy with keeping Amshoff if we can keep him. So yeah, back to the rest of the transfers. I'm looking for transfers. So the last 4 guys we got in, obviously you guys already know about Higgins and Williams. It's been the pattern that I've done, and I think it's actually helped us improve slowly and surely, is bring these guys in on loan. If they play pretty well, which I think Williams played really well, Higgins not as amazing, but he's got a lot of development ahead of him. If we can get them in on a reasonable price, which we did for both of them, under 20 mil for Higgins, or just under, going up to 20 mil. And again, that theme of 20 to 24 for Williams, I thought those were some pretty good prices. Williams played well for last season. Higgins, I think, can get really good. So again, we don't really need to look at these guys. We've already seen them, but Higgins has a lot of potential ahead of him. Really would love to see him turn into something amazing. He's already potentially worth as high as 43 mil. I mean, unlikely that we could sell him for that much, but you never know. and Williams as well. So I think those are two good pair pieces of business because we've seen them. They're known quantities. We know that we can do. We already knew about Boyson. That was actually part of the deal to bring him in anyway, was to bring him in permanently. I think he'll be okay. We'll see what he can do. And then finally, we did bring in this guy, Kambwala. Very, very, very little money, $375,000 on the high end from Benfica. He's just a center back. The only reason I brought him in, we are overloaded with center backs. We absolutely are. The reason I brought him in is because we have a weakness in defensive midfield, and several of our center backs can play defensive midfield. So if this guy's able to come in, he's 31 years old. I'm not expecting a whole lot from him, but if he's able to come in and fill a couple spots from time to time in that defensive back line, then we can move one of those defensive guys up to the defensive midfield as needed. So that's what we're going to be looking at. We'll see what we can do with that. So there we go. That's the guys coming in. I think a little bit better. I think some good potential. I think there's some amazing potential. It may not be like a significantly better team this year. Is it a significantly better team 5 years from now? 3 to 5 years from now? I think that's a possibility. So we'll see what happens. But here's the squad. Let's go look at the squad planner. So obviously in goal, still got Watts. We still got Angelini. On the left side, we've got Boyson, Stevens, and Joseph. Probably in that order. We'll find out. We'll find out. I'm not sure if I'm going to play Stevens or Joseph secondary. Boyson, I think, still gets the start. On the right side, Patrick does take the start here because he's got the most development, I believe. I like to see him continue to push up if he can. Jonathan right behind him. Obviously, Jonathan's okay. I mean, he's not amazing, but he's okay. So I think this is going to be okay for a little bit for this season. Center back, again, I told you we're overloaded. I've already removed a bunch of them from this list just because I wanted to see who we had for defensive midfield, things like that. I don't know exactly where Kambwala will fit into this, but most likely Williams, Morner are probably our starters. But Fabio, Theodoro, Kambwala, any of the guys will be able to play as well, and I think we'll make it. It's not a strong back line here, but I think they can get the job done. And I think Williams and Morner, if they could fully develop, I think these guys would be guys for down the road for sure. Defensive midfield, like I said, on the left-hand side, we've only got Nick Jonas right now. On the right-hand side, we've only got Feezy right now as our primary actual defensive midfielders. And then in the middle, we've got Higgins and the Bozovic guy. So, I mean, I think our starting lineup, I'm pretty happy with. But again, our backups are coming from our central defenders and things like that. So we'll see what that looks like. On the left wing, ignore Thiago Thomas here. He did not want to come in for any good amount of money. So we just did not bring him in. But we have Amshoff most likely our primary because he's played well. But Nicholson's definitely going to get a lot of game time because he's our first wonder kid. He is the future of our team, I think, if he can be a good guy for us. And then as you can see, a few guys that are younger that I think these guys are going to be going out on loan soon anyway. So don't read too much into them. On the right-hand side, Liane probably taking our primary. Again, Tomas, not really a real person in our opinion. Campbell behind him. Technically, Prosser could play back here as well as needed. So yes, Campbell will be playing as a right winger, most likely for us this season, mostly as a backup. Again, because Liane's going to be taking, I think, the start. And then up front, we do have a lot of strikers right now, although most of them are, like Mitchell's going to be going out on loan. Faulkner already out on loan. He's already out on loan. So we really only have the three, I guess. Fine, again, injured for another 5 weeks. He is worth a lot of money to us as well. We like Fine a lot. Ostajic has stepped up, again, currently injured for 3 days. So we're not going to have him for this first game, I don't think. Larrabee's going to get the start. But that's 3 youngsters, 22, 21, 23. They're not old. They still got a lot of room to, potentially get, a good chunk better. And all of them, other than Ostajic, have definitely at least a full star ahead of them. So Fine and Larrabee both have full stars. I'm surprised that Ostajic has no more potential. We'll see how true that actually ends up being. But he's played well for us so far. So we'll see what we can do. So that's the team. Again, same tactic we played last season. Other than no, this is actually probably our starting lineup here for the first game. But we'll go over that in the next episode. As far as the competition preview, I think it had us at 17. Let's see if that is still in fact the case. 17. So just outside of relegation is where the media thinks we will be. Obviously, if we tend to overachieve. If we can get another good solid mid-table finish, get another year of development through some of our younger guys, and then just try to get some more wonder kids or whatever we can for next season, I think we'll just slowly but surely get a little bit better. We're not a team that's going to be able to compete for the number 1 spot. I can't imagine that happening. Could we sneak into the European Championship or the Champions League or something like that? the Euros or the Champions? I think we could. I think that's definitely feasible for us. Whether we do well there or not is a completely different question, but I think we could sneak into those spots if at all possible. But again, we still have a lot of work ahead of us if we're going to take a chance at the number one spot in this league, because this league is a tough league, and we definitely are not at the level for that. We're at the level to be mid-table, I think. We're not at the level to be at the top. Any players that we have here in this list? I don't think so. We do. Amshoff and Osajic. Okay, so Osajic is in this list. There you go. Obviously, we do like Amshoff. I mean, he's one of the two players we've got in the key player list. I know 44 million would be really great. I really don't want to lose him if we can help it. We still have the lowest, I think, salary in the league. We also make the least money from our stadium, and the board still does not want to build a better stadium. So it is what it is. We're currently in the negative, but obviously, as over the course of the season, we'll be fine because we'll be getting a good chunk of money from the television rights and things like that. So financially, I think we're okay. It says okay now. I think by the end of the season, we'll be back being rich again. Projection, I mean, it says negative, but no, we're right there on the line, so I'm not too worried about that. We do have a good chunk of debt. I'm not gonna lie, 61 million in transfer debt. I've been putting a lot of stuff on the never plan, but 61 mil is one season in the Premier League, so I'm not really worried about that. This can be knocked off very, very quickly, if at all, if we need to, for whatever reason. If we just need to buy less people next year and then just have some money in the budget, whatever. I'm not the debt. The debt is fine. I'm not stressed about the debt at all. Okay, cool. So there we go, guys. That is that. I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments below about the team. I mean, this first month is going to be telling. West Ham and Southampton, I think we can get past pretty well. Arsenal, Man City, Newcastle are going to be tough games. We did play well against, I think, all three of them last year, didn't we? Let's see. Arsenal, we lost the first one. We beat them the second time. We also beat them in the FA Cup fourth round. Newcastle, we drew against them the first time, and then the second time we lost to them in the FA Cup semifinal. And I don't see, where am I not seeing them the other second time we played them last season? There they are. We beat them there. So that's 2 down. And then what was the other one? Man City, which I know we beat at least once. We drew against them the first time, didn't we? And didn't we beat them once? No, okay. No, I think it was just the draw that was surprising. So we did lose against them the second time. So, maybe Man City's got our number a little bit more. But my point is being that last season, we were able to hold up against some of these guys. So if we can get 3-6, I'm going to say 9 points. And that's bold. 2 wins, 3 draws. Ooh, no. Let's go 8 points. If we get 8 points out of this first month, I think that would be an extremely good first month of football. 6 to 8 points. Let's say 6 to 8 points. I think if we only got 2 wins and all 3 of these were losses, it's still 2 wins. I think we got 6 to 8 points. I think that's still a pretty good way to start the season. Because, it's going to be a tough start. We'll see what happens. But there we go, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.